Hello everyone, I am here with a Mario Kart countdown. Today I'll be going over my top 16 favorite Mario Kart Wii retro tracks. This list was pretty difficult since some of the retro tracks are pretty mediocre. So please keep in mind that this is my opinion and my opinion only, and that I will rate these tracks by their design, details, difficulty, and music. Nitro tracks will not be included. I have already created a list on them, so go to my channel and look at that video to see the Nitro tracks list. So without further ado, let's start this list. Did they really have to bring N64 Sherbet Land in this game? Literally, it's the worst Mario Kart track in my opinion. On the N64 that is, but on the Wii version, they made very tiny improvements, not major. The track design is like the original, but it feels like they made the track bigger because of the 12 players. The road has been made shiny, but that's pretty minor since the road still has the dumb ice physics that I hate so much, oh my god. The penguins are still kept on the track, and they still annoy me a bit because I keep running into them at times. And the water in the center of the track is easy to fall in since the left side of the track is cracked, and it gives a high chance of just falling in. The tunnel is the same, and I still end up running into a penguin or two at that section. The music is kind of bland, but it kind of fits in more on Frappe Snowland. N64 Sherbet Land is just not really that good of a track. Actually, no, wait, it's really bad. It's a really bad track, it's garbage. Luigi Circuit is better. I hate Mario Kart DS's tracks. Well, most of them. And DS Yoshi Falls is no exception. This track literally blows. Every time I race on this track, I always get bored and I'm just dying to go to the next track. The graphics may have improved, but it can't make me forget about its sluggish track design. I mean, it's just a few turns, so yeah, that's basically it. And a few hills and bridges, yeah. Pretty sluggish. Speed pads are still present, but they didn't really have to be there. It just adds up to how short the track is. The music on this track isn't really that great, but it kind of fits in. I don't know. Overall, this track is pretty bad. Here is another DS track, DS Desert Hills. This track is one of the worst desert tracks out there. First off, there is too many hills. Maybe if the track was a bit flatter, it would be a bit better. Oh wait, that's probably why they called this track Desert Hills. Okay. The end of the track just does it for me. All of the steep hills on the track make me go into the off-road, and I lose a few places in a race because of that. It just annoys me. Oh my god. I hate this track. Even though there are Pokies, Fire Snakes, and the sun from Super Mario Bros. 3, they just make this track more agitating than it has to be. The music is a bit bland, but it has some verses of Double Dash's Dry Deserts in it. But other than that, this track is just bad and bland. Here is yet another DS track, DS Peach Gardens. This track is pretty bland, I have to say. Most of the colors on the track are just a bit unfitting. Maybe if the colors were darker, it would be less bland. Just take a look. It's very bright green. It looks yellowish green. I don't really like that color. Maybe if it was darker it would have been better. I said that. Okay. Moving on. The flowers are also kind of bland, even though the track is called Peach Gardens. There are chain chomps on parts of the track, and they pretty much annoy me. But I kind of like how item boxes follow them around. The music is pretty bland as well, but like I said before, it kind of fits. I don't know. Overall, this track is bland and pretty mediocre. Okay, that's enough of the DS tracks. Now let's move on to other retro tracks. GCN Peach Beach. This track is also kind of bland, but its atmosphere is an exception. The atmosphere is pretty relaxing and it feels like you're on an actual beach. Or is it just me that gets these actual feelings? Oh my god. The town is a bit short, but there is a secret way where you can get item boxes. But that's just it, other than a straight road to the finish line. There are these duck things, which I don't know what they are called, but they can flip your cart into the air if you hit them, or if they come to you. The track just feels a bit empty, that's all. The music fits in a bit. Overall, this track is pretty mediocre. I like Super Mario Kart a lot, but Ghost Valley 2 and Mario Kart Wii, it doesn't really look that great to be honest. The atmosphere the track radiates is great, but the look of the track itself is just bland. The textures of the road and the blocks just don't look that interesting to me. But like I said, the blocks can still fall off when hit, so there's that at least. The broken pieces of wood at some parts aren't really that intimidating. They still have like that pixelated look. Like maybe if it was a bit more like a cracked, futuristic cracked look, I don't know. It would be more intimidating. The boos in the background didn't really have to be there since they don't really interact with the players that much. The music sounds the same, but it still fits. Overall, this track is pretty mediocre. Here is another beach track, GBA Shy Guy Beach. This track was pretty bland and boring on Mario Kart Super Circuit, but in Mario Kart Wii, it looks a bit better. The track feels larger than the original, and that's a good thing because of the 12 players mechanic in Mario Kart Wii. I also like that on this version, the cannonballs that are shot by a pirate ship can explode seconds after it hits the sand. That just makes it the challenge more, I don't know, something. Oh god, I messed up, just cut that out. The crabs look better as well. The bumps are a bit of a downfall since they don't really need to be there. The music is catchy as heck. My only problem with this track is that it feels pretty flat. Maybe if it had a bit more hills or something like that, it would be a bit better. GBA Shy Guy Beach is pretty okay. Mario circuits are pretty good iconic tracks in Mario Kart. GCN Mario Circuit is one of them. On the GameCube, the track was pretty bland and it didn't have that much detail. But on the Wii, the graphics have improved and the amount of detail has risen to make this track shine. The Chain Chomp was a good addition. The piranha plants add to the emptiness, and the bumps in the road, that's not really good. The bumps near the end of the track can sometimes make me go into the off-road, and it irritates me sometimes. The music is also pretty catchy. GCN Mario Circuit is an okay track in my opinion. So, the Bowser Castles from the Game Boy Advance are okay tracks, but GBA Bowser Castle 3 is pretty good. The amount of content this track has is amazing. They put thwomps. Wait, this track has just thwomps? Well, anyways, the track has a nice atmosphere and cool backgrounds. I also like how some parts of the track are graded or caged so that you can see the lava below the track. One thing I don't really like about this track though is that it's a bit too long. I understand that they made the track bigger so that they could fit 12 players, but still, it's a bit too long. Maybe if they put 200cc in this game, it would have been a bit higher on this list. The music fits this track pretty well, and it's probably one of the more good Bowser Castle themes. Overall, this track is pretty good. I know some people don't like this track that much, but you know this guy does. SNES Mario Circuit 3 is a nice classic from Super Mario Kart. I like how Nintendo updated this track's visuals to make it look like a new track. Well, obviously, this game is 480p, so it's gotta be updated, right? It's fun to race on, and the tight turn halfway through is easier to succeed, because Nintendo made it a bit wider. There are many turns still, but that's a minor thing. So yeah, the music is still one of the best in the franchise. This track is a good retro track, and there wasn't really that much to say here, and I apologize for the glare in the bottom left corner at the beginning. So yeah, this track is good. N64 DK's Jungle Parkway is another great classic from a Mario Kart game. Although it brings some nostalgia for N64 fans, the Wii version is a little bit dull, but it still holds the same atmosphere from the original. The turns you have to take throughout the track is fun, and it adds up to the emptiness and the shortness. And I like the downhill area towards the bridge. Speaking of the bridge, if you lay a banana or if you drop a shell from like a lightning there, someone will likely hit that or run into that item that you drop. I also like the launch at the beginning and the ferry that passes through the river. I just like the launch because it just launches you from one end to the other. It's kind of like the cannons from DK Mountain and DK Summit and Maple Treeway. The music is fitting and it's cool. The cave is probably pretty nice as well. This track is a pretty great N64 classic. God, I cannot speak today. Oh my god. Here is another pretty iconic track, N64 Mario Raceway. Man, how many Mario circuits are there in Mario Kart Wii? 1, 2, 3... Wow, there's 4 Mario circuits in this game. Huh. Moving on. The track is the same as the original, with all of its turns, piranha plants, the huge mushroom at the U-turn halfway through the track, the huge pipe that the huge pipe that you can go through. That part is awesome. It's kind of like a tunnel thing. Funny enough, you can actually trick off the edge of the pipe at the end. The music is catchy, and it fits the track a lot. Overall, this track is great and iconic. Now here's a DS track I like, finally. DS Delfino Square is a nice track based off of Super Mario Sunshine's Delfino Plaza. There's even a statue of a citizen of Delfino Plaza at the beginning of the track. Anyways, after the statue, you go through a narrow alleyway between some buildings. After that, you go to a marketplace right here. Sorry, just looking at the footage. Okay, I'm gonna get low views on this video, right? Oh my god. After the marketplace, you go off of a bridge. You go on a bridge, and then you can go skyward and trick off the edge, right here. I just enjoy doing that. While the content on this track is great, the atmosphere is a bit dull. The music is pretty amazing too. DS Delfino Square is really great. Whoa, now we're getting there. GCN Waluigi Stadium is a fun track to race on. You are literally in a dirt bike stadium. It kind of reminds me of Excitebike 64 and Wario Stadium from Mario Kart 64. There is a straight path at one point in the track, and it has fake piranha plants coming out of fake pipes. I sometimes just go off the blue ramps to avoid them. There are even dancing signs. Dancing signs! What? The music is catchy as ever, and it's kind of the same as Wario Coliseum's music from Double Dash. But unfortunately, we got this track instead of Wario Stadium. I would have preferred that track instead of Waluigi Pinball. But other than that, this track is amazing. I don't hate it. N64 Bowser's Castle is high on this list, but it's not my favorite. I still like the 3DS version better. Okay, just argue all you want with me, but the 3DS is gonna be my favorite no matter what. Unless a new Bowser's Castle comes out and it's my new favorite, okay? Anyways, moving on. This track has the correct atmosphere and it's great. The detailing and graphics of the track are superb. I like the textures, and I really like everything about it. While the track looks good, the design is pretty tight, so expect to bump into a wall a few times since there are very skinny hallways. This track is fun. The music is also fitting, and it gives it that eerie feel. That was number 2, but what could be better? Let's find out. GCN DK Mountain. I'm pretty sure you were expecting this to be number 1. This track is a really amazing retro track to Mario Kart Wii. I always love just blasting out of the cannon, going from the bottom of the mountain to the top of the mountain. Then you go back down the mountain through many turns and twists, dodging boulders along the way. Whenever I play on this track, I always have fun doing so. This track is awesome, and it's my favorite Mario Kart Wii retro track. That's all the time I have for today. What are your favorite Mario Kart Wii retro tracks? Leave a comment and share your opinion. Leave a like if you enjoyed. Subscribe for more videos like this one. Thanks for watching. Stay tuned for more. I'm Weir, signing off.